Chapter 209, Refining the Thunder Source. The Di and Lu family troops burst into the vast forests, immediately causing a disturbance. From time to time, furious roars rang out, which was quickly followed by miserable cries. At a certain location deep in the forest, Lin Dong was hidden in the dense underbrush. He did all he could to suppress his presence and breathing, as he occasionally cast a glance at the skies. There, he faintly saw Diteng and Lu Kuei furiously searching all over for him. Lin Dong had snatched away the thunder source right in front of their noses. This action undoubtedly drove Diteng and Lu Kuei nearly mad in anger. They had planned and prepared for this operation for so long, yet in the end, they ended up with nothing. How could they possibly swallow this down? However, although they were furious, the forests were incomparably vast, and it was not difficult to conceal a person. Hence, even though there were many Di and Lu family troops, discovering Lin Dong was not going to be an easy matter. Lin Dong watched the two figures in the sky as they gradually disappeared from his sight. Though Diteng and Lu Kuei were both form creation stage practitioners, they were evidently unable to maintain continuous flight. After all, they were unlike Lin Dong, who possessed powerful mental energy which allowed him to fly on a sword. Thus, this draining aerial search did not last for a long time. This forest has already been locked down by the Di and Lu families, hence it would be rather troublesome to exit. Right now, the best plan is to first absorb this thunder source. If I am able to reach the advanced stage of Bronze Thunder Body or advance to the 4th Seal Symbol Master, I will be capable of defeating either one of them. Lin Dong's gaze flickered. Alone, it was undoubtedly too difficult for him to contend against these two initial form creation stage practitioners. However, if his Bronze Thunder Body was at the Advanced Mastery stage or if he rose to the 4th Seal Symbol Master, the difficulty of contending against them would obviously plummet. From what he could see, Diteng and Lu Kuei were clearly intent on killing him. If he did not upgrade his strength, it would likely become somewhat dangerous. Furthermore, I have no idea where Little Flame disappeared to. I need to find him first before I look for a secluded place to seal myself off and refine the thunder source. After making this decision in his heart, Lin Dong looked around, and could not help but helplessly shake his head when he did not find any traces of Little Flame. Fortunately, he had left a mental energy mark on Little Flame's body this time and was able to sense its position. Immediately, his eyes cautiously swept across his surroundings, before his figure transformed into a black line as it swept forth. Lin Dong's figure traveled through the dense forests, and after about 10 minutes, his figure finally stopped under a huge tree. He gazed at a narrow space before him, as his face turned stiff. On this empty space, he found Little Flame covered in wounds, as if it had just experienced an intense battle. Of course, what astonished Lin Dong the most was not Little Flame's injuries, but the humongous corpse below Little Flame's paws. This corpse was covered in cracked crystal armor, however, the originally resplendent lightning glow had now completely turned black while silver blood continuously flowed from those sinister wounds. This corpse belonged to the Thunder Crystal Beast which just had its thunder source snatched away. Was this done by you? Lin Dong was dumbstruck as he stared at this scene. It was a good while before he finally regained his senses and asked Little Flame. Roar! Faced with a dumbstruck Lin Dong, Little Flame let out a low roar, before it positioned its huge butt on the corpse and a pleased look flashed across its eyes. Heh, this stupid tiger turns out to be a little useful. Little Martin also appeared at this moment and said in astonishment. The Thunder Crystal Beast was extremely powerful. Even at its weakest moment, it was able to push the Diteng duo so far. When it had escaped previously, Lin Dong had felt that it was a little unfortunate. After all, every part of this kind of demonic beast was practically a treasure. How could he have anticipated that Little Flame would actually sneakily follow the fleeing Thunder Crystal Beast, and wait for the opportunity to finish it off? However, from the injuries on Little Flame's body, it had clearly paid quite a price in order to kill the beast. After all, there was still a huge difference between the two. Roar! Little Flame once again growled at Lin Dong, before it opened its huge maw and bit the crystal armor on the beast's body to pieces. As its huge tongue swept forth, it completely devoured the Thunder Crystal beast's flesh and blood. Most of the Thunder Crystal beast's power is contained within the Thunder Source, however, its blood and flesh is extremely beneficial to a demonic beast. Furthermore, there were some mutations within this stupid tiger's blood, allowing it to have an extremely strong adaptive ability. This will be extremely beneficial to it. Little Martin clicked its tongue and scoffed. Lin Dong lightly nodded his head. All was fine as long as there were no detrimental effects. For Little Flame, the Thunder Crystal beast's flesh and blood was extremely enticing. It made quick work of the corpse, and it was not long before all that was left of the Thunder Crystal beast was a pile of bloody bones. The corners of Lin Dong's eyes twitched as he watched. This fellow appetite was too huge. Upon seeing that Little Flame had nibbled clean the Thunder Crystal beast, Lin Dong was just about to tell it to flee together, but he suddenly discovered that there were traces of lightning on its body, and the underneath of its scarlet-red fur seemed to be glowing. This is... After seeing this sudden change, Lin Dong's expression changed drastically. Don't worry, it is just refining the power of the Thunder Crystal beast. Heh, this stupid tiger is truly lucky. This Thunder Crystal beast had already successfully advanced, and although it had yet to recover its strength, the blood and flesh within its body had already been completely strengthened. After being turned to food, the energy within was also absorbed. This time, the stupid tiger's strength may once again be upgraded. Little Martin laughed as it soothingly said. After hearing these words, Lin Dong finally let out a sigh of relief. Just as he was about to speak, he suddenly turned around as his eyebrows slightly furrowed while he gazed towards the back. He was faintly able to sense some presences there. Let's go. We need to first find a spot to refine the Thunder Source. Lin Dong lightly waved his hand, before dashing towards the deeper parts of the forest. Behind him, Little Flame also hastily followed, as its body flickered with the lightning. Man and beast swiftly traveled through the forests. Over this period of time, Lin Dong was already rather familiar with this forest, thus he moved with ease. After a series of seemingly haphazard dashing, they finally found an extremely concealed cave. The cave was located halfway up a mountain and was surrounded by a messy stone forest. Unless one examined carefully, it would be difficult to discover the existence of this cave. After Lin Dong entered the cave, he camouflaged the cave entrance a little, allowing it to be better concealed. After finishing this, Li Dong heavily sighed in relief. After all, he was a weak one-man faction and could not possibly resist two big families. Hence, it was best for him to keep a low profile for the time being. While Lin Dong sighed, to one side, Little Flame emitted a buzzing sound. Lin Dong hastily looked over, only to find the lightning glow on its body growing brighter and brighter. In the end, it turned into a flickering lightning cocoon, which completely wrapped around its huge body. Lin Dong was a little astonished as he stared at this lightning cocoon. As his hand gently touched the cocoon, he was able to sense the vibrant life force within it. Only then did he let go of the worry in his heart. Like Little Martin had said, devouring the Thunder Crystal beast's flesh and blood was a great opportunity for Little Flame. Little Flame's current strength was comparable to the perfect Yuan Dan stage. If it rose again, Little Flame would equivalent to a form creation stage practitioner. This kind of strength would be an extremely great aid to Lin Dong. Its strength is increasing, I should also start cultivating. Lin Dong softly chuckled as he sat on a boulder nearby. His current situation was somewhat urgent, and although he had hidden himself, given the Di and Lu family's capabilities, they would still find him in the end. At that time, a massive battle would definitely occur. His opponents consisted of 2 initial form creation stage practitioners, over 10 perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners, and quite a number of the other Yuan Dan stage practitioners. With Lin Dong's strength, he could at most stall an initial form creation stage practitioners, and as for the symbol puppet, it was not suitable for a prolonged battle, because Lin Dong could not afford the pure Yuan pill consumption. As for Little Martin, it would also be able to stall a form creation stage practitioner, but even then, there were still so many Yuan Dan stage practitioners to deal with. The power of both sides were on a completely different scale, hence, before they found him, Lin Dong needed to master the bronze thunder body. Or else, the situation would become extremely troublesome. Phew! As this thought flashed across Lin Dong's mind, his expression slowly turned solemn. He grabbed onto the head-sized ball of lightning which once again appeared in his hand. Only when he observed this lightning source from up close, did he finally discover its beauty. From time to time, lightning arced across its surface, seemingly forming many thunderstorms on its exterior. Faintly, one could hear the low rumble of thunder from within. Such a vigorous lightning power! Lin Dong deeply breathed in, as astonishment flashed in his eyes. Such vigorous lightning power! Compared to those he had absorbed in the past, it was several times stronger. Sure enough, this thunder source was the most valuable thing in the thunder crystal beast's body. No wonder Diteng and Lu Kuei wanted to obtain it so desperately. Lin Dong's hands held the thunder source at its top and bottom, as his eyes slowly closed. The Great Sun Thunder body slowly started activating at this moment, as his hands emitted a suction force. Rumble! As Lin Dong utilized his secret art, the thunderstorms within the thunder source suddenly became violent. Liquid lightning which could be seen with the naked eye slowly flowed out from the thunder source, before it flowed along Lin Dong's palms and poured into his body. Bang! The instant the liquid lightning gushed into Lin Dong's body, the clothes on his body exploded to dust in a flash. In fact, cracks even formed on the boulder he sat on. Chi! Lightning frantically twisted around Lin Dong's body, as portions of the berserk power endlessly tunneled into his body. Meanwhile, the bronze color of Lin Dong's skin became increasingly richer. Chapter 210, Closed Door Cultivation in the Mountain Cave. Boom! A deep thunder-like roar sounded out from Lin Dong's body, and lightning covered his body like a hedgehog's spines. As the lightning power tempered his body, the bronze hue on his skin became increasingly richer. The lightning power contained within the thunder source was extremely vigorous. Thankfully, Lin Dong had absorbed a fair amount of lightning power over this period of time. Hence, he was already somewhat used to this savage force, and his current condition was not considered bad. At the very least, there were no signs of something going wrong. The lightning glow illuminated Lin Dong's solemn face, which appeared exceptionally serious. Of course, the current situation inside his body was not as calm as it seemed on the surface. Vigorous lightning power flooded through his channels, bringing with it a searing heat that caused all of his channels to burn in pain. However, this magnitude of pain was nothing compared to the time when Lin Dong first drew lightning. Therefore, Lin Dong did not pay any heed to it. With a flick of his mind, the Great Sun Thunder Yuan inside his body whizzed out, swiftly mixing and fusing with the vigorous lightning power. Crash! Crash! As the two parties quickly fused together, Lin Dong could feel the Yuan power inside his body growing at an alarming speed. In a short few minutes, the increase in Yuan power was already comparable to all the gains from the painstaking cultivation he had endured over this period. Its efficiency was truly amazing. The Great Sun Thunder Yuan fused with lightning power now contained traces of tiny electric sparks. This Yuan power, which was several times more powerful than before, flowed through his channels, before they were deposited inside his danshan and completely absorbed by the Yuan Dan within. As this vigorous Yuan power endlessly poured in, his dark golden Yuan Dan began to grow slowly. In fact, electric sparks started to emerge on the Yuan Dan's surface, an extremely peculiar sight. The lightning power within the thunder source is too vigorous. Even the Great Sun Thunder body's refining speed is unable to catch up. However, as more lightning power poured into his body, Lin Dong realized that the rate at which his Great Sun Thunder Yuan fused with lightning power was gradually unable to keep up. Looks like I must first unlock the final channel of the Great Sun Thunder body. As this thought flashed across his mind, the Yuan power pouring into his danshan suddenly changed course, and directly headed for the last channel of the Great Sun Thunder body. Boom! As the extremely vigorous Yuan power charged into that channel, Lin Dong's entire body began to tremble violently. He could faintly feel that this channel, which had previously refused to yield despite all of his efforts, was now beginning to exhibit signs of yielding. When he felt this tiny change, delight surged in Lin Dong's heart. Promptly, he calmed himself down, and urged on that vigorous Yuan power, joining them from head to tail, as they continuously and ferociously rushed against the final channel. Bang! 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 Vigorous Yuan power battered against the boulder-like final channel again and again. Lin Dong's body currently had an almost limitless amount of Yuan power, hence, he was not afraid to engage in a battle of attrition with this channel. After all, he was curious to find out just how long this damned channel could hold on. Golden Yuan power whizzed through Lin Dong's body. Like a tidal wave, hwala sounds echoed out, as waves of thick Yuan power continuously collided against that channel. Due to these powerful collisions, Lin Dong's entire body began to tremble uncontrollably. Even though this channel was just like a giant boulder, it could not possibly withstand this assault forever. Hence, after about a dozen waves, a microscopic cracking sound quietly rang out inside Lin Dong's body. Crack! Yet another mindless blow crashed forth. However, this time, the Yuan power was not deflected as the channel's entrance was violently torn apart. Like a tidal wave, vigorous Yuan power immediately rushed in. Seemingly unstoppable as it completely destroyed every obstacle within the channel. Evidently, Lin Dong had finally accomplished this most difficult step. The suddenly unblocked channel caused Lin Dong, who was currently in a mindless state of controlling Yuan power, to be taken aback. Moments later, he recovered his senses, as an uncontrollable delight gushed forth from the deepest crevices of his heart. It's finally unlocked. When the final channel was unlocked, an exceedingly comfortable sensation seemed to emerge from the deepest corners of Lin Dong's body. This sensation was akin to an incomplete object finally being given the last piece and made whole. Evidently, the 44 channels of Great Sun Thunder body was finally perfect. Gurgle. The golden luster of the Great Sun Thunder Yuan flowing inside his body suddenly became increasing resplendent. This golden color was extremely dazzling, and faintly gave off an aura of indescribable might and tyrannical power. This was the true Great Sun Thunder Yuan. As he sensed the change in his Great Sun Thunder Yuan, Lin Dong's felt a little moved in his heart. With a flick of his mind, several golden vortices formed inside his body. Within these vortexes, a terrifying suction force exploded forth, as the savage lightning power pouring into his body was directly sucked into these golden vortexes. When the lightning power was sucked into these golden vortexes, it fused with his Great Sun Thunder Yuan at an incredulous rate, before being deposited into the Yuan Dan inside his Danshan. Right now, his absorption and fusion rate was more than 10 times faster than before. As he felt this revolutionary change, Lin Dong almost laughed out in delight. It was no wonder this final channel was so difficult to unlock, it turned out to be the most critical step after all. Once he passed this most important step, the quality of his Great Sun Thunder Yuan was upgraded to the next level. Haha, Bronze Thunder Body, form now! A deep shout echoed out inside Lin Dong's heart, as the golden Yuan power gushing inside the vortexes suddenly exploded, before they turned into countless golden lights and shot towards every part of his body. Ch. As the golden Yuan power embedded with lightning power exploded forth, Lin Dong's blood, flesh, and internal organs etc. seemed to rejoice simultaneously, as they greedily devoured the golden lights that would transform them. As more golden Yuan power exploded forth and was absorbed by Lin Dong's body, several parts inside in his body practically turned resplendently gold. All of his blood, flesh, muscles, and bones were now coated with a thin golden glow. Like a layer of golden silk, it was extremely beautiful. As Lin Dong's body frantically absorbed the Yuan power fused with lightning power, the skin on his body began to turn increasingly green. Eventually, he looked just like a bronze statue quietly sitting down on a boulder. Meanwhile, his breathing began to turn increasingly weak, and even his body temperature began to fall. However, if there was a practitioner proficient in mental energy nearby, he would sense that beneath the green surface, a power was now growing at an alarming rate. When it finally stopped, it would be extremely powerful. The mountain cave was silent. A bronze statue was seated within, together with a squirming lightning cocoon, as they both emitted lightning sparks. Shameful and useless things, it's already been so long and yet you still can't find that kid. On an empty field north of the cave where Lin Dong was hiding, De Teng's face was green, as he angrily roared at the terrified troops before him. "Father, could that kid have escaped already?" the young man dressed in black clothes asked. "Impossible." De Teng answered without hesitation, "Over these past few days, I and that old fart Lu Kuei have personally combed through this area. Furthermore, we have transferred more troops over and locked down this entire area. It is absolutely impossible for that kid to slip away under our eyes. He must still be inside his woodlands." That young man in black let out a bitter laugh and said, "If that is the case, we can only search further in. However, the demonic beasts inside will be increasingly tough to deal with. If we continue such a large-scale manhunt, we will suffer substantial losses. No matter how large the loss, we must find that little bastard. After I capture him, I will break every bone in his body." De Teng's face was incomparably hideous. Evidently, his anger had reached its peak. Family head. When they saw the murderous look on De Teng's face, the surrounding people felt a chill in their hearts. Amidst the silence, a figure suddenly quickly approached from a distance. As the words left his mouth, he felt De Teng's cold gaze sweep over, causing cold sweat to emerge on his head. "Speak!" De Teng icily commanded. When he heard this, that man hurriedly nodded his head. He knew that if he delayed any further, the enraged De Teng would grant him a slap of death. "I have just received word from the Lu family. It seems like they have discovered where that kid is hiding." Bang! Just as his words sounded out, De Teng, who was seated on a boulder, abruptly stood up, and shattered the boulder below him with a single slap. A thick killing intent immediately burst out, as his cold words echoed inside everyone's ears. "Go and join up with the Lu family. I will personally slaughter that little bastard." After De Teng spoke, his figure turned into a black shadow as he dashed forth. Behind him, the De family's troops hastily followed. Their menacing aura caused several demonic beasts in the woods to fall into panic. Chapter 211, Massive Surge in Strength. A figure silently sat on a boulder in the quiet mountain cave. An ice-cold bronze color covered every part of his body, while giving off a cold and bold aura of strength. Concealed under this bronze color seemed to be the patterns of power. While power gushed about under that bronze layer, another invisible power slowly spread out from the figure and filled the entire mountain cave. This was mental energy. Evidently, while Lin Dong's Yuan power started to grow stronger, a revolutionary change was also occurring in his Nuan Palace. 3 destiny soul symbols floated within his Nuan Palace, as they took in and spit out vigorous mental energy. There was already a deep crack on the soul symbol in the middle. This was a sign that it was splitting into a 4th seal. Crack crack. Traces of lightning flickered in the Nuan Palace, as the crack on the destiny soul symbol grew increasingly larger, while the rate at which the soul symbol vibrated intensified. Buzz buzz. During this splitting process, his entire Nuan Palace began to vibrate gently. Meanwhile, the mental energy brewing within began to grow rapidly. Crack. The vibrations did not continue for long. Suddenly, an extremely clear sound softly echoed out inside his Nuan Palace. Soon after, Lin Dong saw the crack had finally extended to the limit, before his soul symbol split into 2 soul symbols and gently drifted apart. The 4th seal. The 4th destiny soul symbol had finally emerged after splitting. Buzz. When the 4th seal emerged, a storm seemingly erupted inside his Nuan Palace, as invisible mental energy, filled electrical sparks, swiftly gathered together and formed into a mini mental energy hurricane. As the hurricane howled, an extremely formidable mental energy shockwave frantically spread forth. This time, the mental energy inside Lin Dong's Nuan Palace had increased by at least 5-fold. Hence, he could now finally be called a proper fourth seal symbol master. Just as this huge revolution occurred in his Nuan Palace, the situation in Lin Dong's body did not fall behind. As streams of potent Great Sun Thunder Yuan poured into his Danshan, his originally walnut-sized dark golden Yuan Dan became increasingly shiny. Meanwhile, its size had grown to that of a baby's fist and the Yuan power contained within was totally incomparable to before. The golden Yuan Dan hovered inside his Danshan, as it continuously swirled at a steady rate. As it slowly swirled, the powerful Great Sun Thunder Yuan inside his Danshan was just like a tidal wave, howling around like a resplendent rainbow. Boom! When that howling Yuan power and the mental energy shockwave from his Nuan Palace brewed till a certain point, they suddenly erupted just like a volcano that had lain dormant for a long time. An extremely deep roar violently exploded forth from Lin Dong's body. Inside the cave, his tightly shut eyes suddenly opened, as a tyrannical and formidable golden glow shimmered within his eyes. Bang! An invisible shockwave erupted from his body, causing some of the rocks surrounding him to be instantly reduced into dust. In fact, it even caused several arm-sized cracks to form on the cave walls. Phew! Lin Dong's eyes scanned his surroundings, as an extremely formidable aura slowly spread out from his body. Compared to before, his aura was now several times stronger. Form creation stage. An unconcealable joy surfaced in Lin Dong's eyes. This step, thanks to the thunder source, he had finally accomplished it. Based on Lin Dong's original speed, if he wanted to break through from perfect Yuan Dan stage and reach form creation stage, it would take him several months' time. However, this thunder source, which he had stumbled upon, managed to shrink this time dramatically. Lin Dong slowly extended his hand, before he suddenly clenched his fist. Promptly, golden Great Yuan Thunder Yuan gushed out from his palm before quickly gathering in front of him. In a flash, they actually formed a giant golden beast. Based on its appearance, it was a thunder crystal beast. However, this thunder crystal beast that was created from Yuan power only possessed the form and not the essence of the real beast. If one wanted to create a realistic Yuan power object, one would need to advance to the Qi creation stage. Of course, despite this, the thunder crystal beast formed by Yuan power had a strong attacking power. Creating objects to attack was the trademark and signature move of a creation stage expert. Lin Dong was extremely excited as he manipulated his Yuan power to create all sorts of objects. With regards to creating these objects, Lin Dong had a substantial advantage over other ordinary form creation stage practitioners. This was because he also possessed powerful mental energy which increased his proficiency in manipulating Yuan power. Is this the power of the creation stage? Lin Dong stared at that ever-changing Yuan power that he was manipulating, as an excited glint flashed across his eyes. In the past, he could only create objects by borrowing the ability of the ancient heavenly scales halberd. That was also the only way for him to fully maximize the strength of his halberd. However, now that he had finally advanced to the form creation stage, in the future, even if he lost his ancient heavenly scales halberd, he could still execute the ancient heavenly scales halberd techniques. After playing around for a while, Lin Dong finally recalled that ball of Yuan power into his body. As he lowered his head to look at his body, a look of shock flashed across his eyes. Right now, his body seemed like a copper statue which was cold and solid upon contact. Creak! Lin Dong slowly clenched his fist, as he clearly felt the formidable force gathering in his palm. Right now, he had every confidence that he could defeat a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner with a single punch even without using Yuan power. In fact, even if a form creation stage practitioner took the hit, he would likely suffer as well. Boom! Lin Dong lowered his head before he viciously punched a 2-man tall boulder. His fist was just like a knife slicing through tofu, as his entire arm easily penetrated the rock. As he jerked his arm, a stealthy force exploded inside the boulder, as it shattered to pieces with a loud bang. Such a powerful force! As he felt the powerful force surging below his skin, Lin Dong's breathing involuntarily turned a little ragged. This bronze thunder body was truly formidable. With this thing protecting his body, even an ordinary soul treasure would be unable to hurt him. Form creation stage. Fourth seal symbol master, bronze thunder body. Lin Dong slowly stretched his arms. Right now, his Yuan power, mental energy, and the power of his body, was several times stronger compared to the time when he had just left Yan City. It seems like his decision to embark on this training trip was the right one. Little Flame is still in a deep slumber. The bronze color on Lin Dong's body slowly faded away as his naked body was revealed. Taking out the clothes from his Qian bag, he put them on before he turned to look at a lightning cocoon beside him. Right now, the surface of this cocoon seemed more solid than before, while electrical sparks flickered around. Furthermore, thanks to his surge in mental energy, Lin Dong could clearly feel that the life force within was still extremely vigorous. It seems like Little Flame's training was not yet complete. Kid, this time you have truly struck gold. Little Martin emerged from the stone talisman embedded inside Lin Dong's palm, before it looked at the latter in awe. Evidently, it was also truly awed by the progress that he had made. That thunder source was indeed something good. Lin Dong softly chuckled. If it was not for the thunder source, it would be impossible for his strength to grow by leaps and bounds in just a few days. Even though you have just advanced to the form creation stage, if it is a one-to-one fight, you should be able to defeat an initial form creation stage practitioner. Little Martin said. Defeat one et. When he heard these words, the corners of Lin Dong's lips twitched a little as a golden glow shimmered in his eyes and revealing the formidable aura of his great son Thunder Yuan. His ambition was evidently greater than that. Boom! As the golden glow flashed across Lin Dong's eyes, a loud earth-shattering sound suddenly echoed out. Promptly, a huge crack emerged in the entire cave, as boulders began to fall. Evidently, this cave was about to collapse. "Heh, those fellows have finally shown up." When it saw this situation, Little Martin could not help but smile. Two initial form creation practitioners. How about it, can you handle it? Just leave it to me. When he heard these words, Lin Dong softly chuckled, as the golden glow in his eyes turned increasingly resplendent. Outside the mountain cave were numerous figures. The Di and Lu family troops had thoroughly surrounded the place. Meanwhile, De Teng and Lu Kuei were both standing atop a giant tree, as they coldly stared at that mountain cave that was about to collapse. After searching for several days, they had finally confirmed that Lin Dong was hiding there. This time, I want to see how that little bastard can escape. As they gazed at the surrounding troops, the killing intent inside the Ditang duo's eyes intensified. Boom! Under the stares of the crowd, that mountain cave finally collapsed. However, just as the crowd planned to make their move, the falling giant boulders suddenly stopped in mid-air, as if time had come to a standstill. Swish! While quite a number of people were shocked by this sight, those giant boulders suddenly flew forth. With a wind sound, they viciously slammed into the troops, causing them to dodge hurriedly like frantic chickens and dogs. Mental energy. When they saw that giant boulder that suddenly flew forth, a cold glint flashed across De Teng's and Lu Kuei's eyes. Immediately, both of them simultaneously attacked, as vigorous Yuan power directly turned the giant boulders to dust. Little bastard, come out now! De Teng's expression was dark, as he shouted menacingly. Haha, my old friend De Teng, why are you in such a hurry? You guys have brought so many troops along. Could you still afraid that I will escape? A light laughter sounded out from the collapse mountain cave, as a figure stepping on a blade slowly emerged in front of De Teng and the rest. However, just as he appeared, an exceedingly powerful aura exploded forth from his body like a typhoon. Form creation stage. As they sensed the formidable aura from Lin Dong's body, De Teng's and Lu Kuei's facial expressions finally turned exceedingly grim. Chapter 212, Demonstrating his prowess. Little bastard, have you refined the thunder source? De Teng and Lu Kuei's faces were steely green as they stared right at Lin Dong. Based on their expressions, it seemed like they were dying to devour the latter alive. After their previously exchange, even though Lin Dong's ability was truly stunning, both of them knew that Lin Dong had yet to advance to form creation stage. However, right now, based on Lin Dong's aura, he was a real form creation stage practitioner. In order to achieve such alarming progress in a few days' time, it was not achievable through ordinary cultivation means. Therefore, the answer was obvious. That is, Lin Dong had used these few days' time to refine the thunder source. When they thought of this point, De Teng duo's hearts burned in rage till they lost their minds. They had planned for such a long time in order to obtain the thunder source and used up nearly all of their family's resources. However, in the end, Lin Dong was the one who reaped all the benefits. With regards to their poisonous glances, Lin Dong chose to ignore it. As he gripped his palm, the ancient heavenly scales halberd surfaced. A light golden glow shimmered as a formidable aura spread out. Right now, he knew that it was impossible to peacefully negotiate through today's matter. Both De Teng and Lu Kuei were filled with killing intent and any further words were totally unnecessary. Little bastard, don't think that there is nothing we can do since you have refined the thunder source. After we capture you, I will hire a soul symbol master and use mental energy flames to refine you. Then, we will extract the lightning energy from your Yuan Dan and your flesh. De Teng's face was grim, as the words that came out from his mouth were filled with cruelty and viciousness. We shall see if you have what it takes. Lin Dong chuckled. Old ghost Lu Kuei, that kid is extremely cunning. Let's go all out and attack him together. This time, if we let him escape again, we will never have the chance to capture him again. De Teng solemnly said. All right. A cold glint flashed across Lu Kuei's eyes as he solemnly nodded his head. He was similarly outraged by the fact that Lin Dong had refined the thunder source, and he was naturally not going to allow the latter to escape again. Everyone listen up. Whichever direction that little bastard tries to run towards, block him immediately. De Teng duo's command echoed out in their troops' ears. Yes. When they heard their commands, the De family and Lu family troops hastily replied, before they started maliciously at Lin Dong. Then, both factions began to spread out. Once Lin Dong showed any inclination of escaping, they will strike at the same time to halt and kill him. Boom! After they shouted, that De Teng and Lu Kuei evidently did not plan to give Lin Dong any time to prepare. Immediately, a formidable Yuan power exploded forth from their bodies. Then, as they gripped their large hands, 2 Yuan power palms quickly materialized, before they flew viciously towards Lin Dong with a powerful breaking wind sound. Kid, even if you have advanced to form creation stage, it is a piece of cake for us to kill you. Lin Dong lifted his head as he stared at the Yuan power palms that was growing rapidly within his eyes. Then, a cold smile surfaced on his face. Fools! This time, as he faced their combined attack, Lin Dong did not use any Yuan power or mental energy. Instead, as he gripped his palm, his entire hand immediately turned bronze green. Then, taking a step forward, he solidly punched against those 2 Yuan power palms. Bang bang! As his arm jutted forth, it caused a deep explosive sound. Then, 2 deflating noises echoed out, as those 2 Yuan power palms were directly blown apart by a single punch from Lin Dong. How is that possible? When they saw that Lin Dong had actually blown apart their Yuan power palms using his fist alone, both De Teng and Lu Kuei's facial expression changed drastically. With those abilities alone, you wish to capture me? Scram! Lin Dong's eyes glimmered in gold. Suddenly, he extended his palm forth before streams of resplendent golden Yuan power quickly formed into a several meter wide golden platform in midair. Subduing golden platform magic palm. Lin Dong waved his arm, as that menacing-looking golden platform immediately slammed down. Right now, based on Lin Dong's form creation stage ability, since he activated subduing golden platform magic palm, the golden glow on that platform was exceptionally resplendent. As the golden glow poured forth, it seemed just like a real platform made from pure gold. In fact, its appearance did not lose out to the one that Wang Yan created previously. Right now, he could finally display the true power of subduing golden platform magic palm. Boom boom! That golden platform answered his call as it slammed down, causing the air below to be forcefully blown away. The resulting air explosion caused some boulders on the ground below to be blown into dust. That kid's strength has surged several times. As they felt the aura emitted by that golden platform, both Diteng and Lu Kui's faces turned extremely grim. Standing below that golden platform, both of them felt extremely endangered. Let's work together. Even though they had been at loggerheads for years, both of them were evidently in sync. As they turned to look at one another, the Yuan power inside their body began to gush forth before they quickly formed into two menacing giant Yuan power sabers in front of them. Go! As they jerked their arms, those two giant Yuan power sabers immediately tore through the air and viciously hacked that golden platform. Clang! A ear-splitting sound echoed out. When Lin Dong saw this situation, he chuckled before he suddenly pressed his palm down. Break! Bang! When that golden platform slammed down, those two Yuan power sabers directly broke apart. Subduing golden platform magic palm was a genuine upper-class martial arts. Therefore, it will not be easily countered by any ordinary martial arts. After it easily destroyed those two Yuan power sabers, the golden glow on that golden platform only dimmed a little. Then, it once again viciously slammed towards the Diteng duo, who were merely inches away. On the mountain peak, when the Di and Lu family's troops saw that Lin Dong was able to reduce Diteng duo into such a sorry state alone, shock surfaced on their faces. A few days ago, Lin Dong was barely able to resist them, before he cunningly slipped away. Hence, they never expected that the situation had now dramatically reversed itself. When did this little bastard become so strong? When that young man dressed in black, whom had his soul treasure snatched away by Lin Dong, saw this sight, his face turned steely green as a hint of fear briefly surfaced in his eyes. Evidently, he was in shock after witnessing Lin Dong's performance. Old ghost, if you continue to hold back, then we will both die. As that golden glow flew towards them, that Diteng shouted out in rage. Snort! That Lu Kui coldly snorted. Promptly, his hands began to dance as a powerful Yuan power swiftly gathered between his palms like a lightning bolt. Then, on his palm, that Yuan power quickly materialized into a black cuticle with traces of Yin energy. Small Yin wind palm. That Yin energy formed a tiny black hurricane inside Lu Kui's palm. Then, with a formidable expression, an exceedingly powerful palm attack was viciously executed. Great Yan Heaven Finger. When he saw Lu Kui finally executing his Lu family's signature martial arts, that Di Kui softly heaved a sigh of relief. Then, straightening two of his fingers, both of his fingers suddenly turned fiery red. It seemed like all the Yuan power in his body had been gathered on his fingers. Little bastard, see how we destroy your martial arts. With a powerful Yuan power, their finger and palm attack simultaneously launched forth and viciously slammed against that golden platform. Instantly, an extremely savage Yuan power shockwave exploded forth in mid-air. Die! Black and red light beams exploded below that golden platform. That powerful force wind directly created a small crack on that golden platform, before it eventually exploded with a bang. Snort! When they saw that they had destroyed Lin Dong's attack, that Diteng and Lu Kui snorted immediately. However, just as they planned to attack again, as that golden glow exploded, a figure lightning quick dashed forward. This was no Yuan power attack. Rather, this was a deep echo caused when a bronze punch was executed. This sudden close combat evidently startled the Diteng duo. As Yuan power gushed forth, a series of Yuan power palms were quickly directed towards that bronze man, that was rapidly approaching them. Clang clang! When their palm attack hit on that body, sparks flew forth while a clear metallic sounds could be heard. Quickly retreat! The determination and coldness of the aggressor caused the Diteng duo's heart to sink, before both of them tried to retreat at the same time. However, Lin Dong would not let them go so easily. After he executed Bronze Thunder Body, his physical body had been enhanced to nearly perfection. Besides growing in strength, his speed has grown as well. Right now, he was just like a sentient symbol puppet. Bang bang! Lin Dong's figure was just like lightning. In a flash, he approached the Diteng duo. Right now, every part of his body had become his most lethal weapon. Fist, finger, head, elbow. There was no rhythm behind his attack, however his attacks rained down like a thunderstorm. At this moment, the whole mountain peak was silent as both the Di and Lu family troops were in shock. Right now, their practically invincible patriarchs were. Due to Lin Dong's attack, they were just like sandbags. Each time they tried to retreat, they would be caught up, then, they would be beaten into a bloody pulp. Bang! Another powerful uppercut. Diteng finally could not resist any more, as he spat out a mouthful of blood, before his body was blown away hideously, causing a 10-meter-long mark on the ground. Bang! After his punch blew Diteng away, Lin Dong's body flashed before he unleashed a powerful swirling kick on Lu Kui's chest. A deep sound seemingly echoed out from the latter's body as he flew several meters away. Gulp! When they looked at the duo that were being beaten senseless by Lin Dong, everyone involuntarily gulped. That sound was exceptionally piercing in this quiet environment. Chapter 213, Annihilation. Father. As he stared at Diteng and Lu Kui who were being punched and kicked by Lin Dong, that young man dressed in black facial expression changed dramatically as he hurriedly shouted out. Cough. On the ground, Diteng somewhat hideously crawled up with a slightly pale expression on his face. Previously, Lin Dong's attack was too vicious and his hurricane-like close contact blows directly caught them off guard. Thankfully, even though they were injured, these injuries were not lethal. Evidently, beforehand, even when they were being hit, they were doing the best to protect their vital spots. "Ha, you can still stand up." When he saw Diteng and Lu Kui stand up, Lin Dong's eyes twinkled as he chuckled. "Little bastard, regardless of the price I have to pay, I will rip you to shreds today." Diteng's eyes were malicious and filled with a poisonous hatred. As he turned to glance at Lu Kui, both of them solemnly nodded their head. Instantly, the Yuan power inside their bodies howled forth, before they completely poured into the middle finger on his right hand. As streams of these potent Yuan power gathered together, Lu Kui's middle finger seemed like it was wrapped by fiery red flames. In fact, faintly, drips of blood filled with a slight malicious aura were flowing out. As Diteng's eyesight turned increasingly hideous, a formidable Yuan power gradually undulated on one of Lu Kui's arm. As these Yuan power gathered below his palm, faintly, it seemed like his palm had turned into an extremely sharp saber. One finger and one palm. As Yuan power undulated, a heart-palpitating sensation emerged. Anyone could tell that this attack was definitely going to be the most powerful attack from the duo. Blood Yuan Remnant's finger. Black demonic saber palm. When they saw this sight, several elite practitioners from Di and Lu families were stunned. Evidently, they recognized these two formidable martial arts. Both of these martial arts were considered as upper category martial arts, and they were the most powerful martial arts from each family. Even though both of their bodies will suffer after they execute these martial arts, its combined strength was legendary throughout the entire Dayang province. It was indeed their signature move. Unless both of them had no other option, they were typically reluctant to use their signature moves. However, the current situation has totally exceeded their expectations. Even when they combined forces, both of them were beaten ruthlessly by Lin Dong. Therefore, if they continued to save their signature move, they would probably have to report to the King of Hell with their signature move. Upper category martial arts. As he felt the formidable Yuan power undulating on their palms, Lin Dong gently lifted his eyebrows as he was not too surprised. This Di and Lu family's might were evidently much stronger than Yan City. Hence, if they did not possess any upper category martial arts, it would be too shabby. Swoosh! Lin Dong gently gripped his palm, before his ancient heavenly scales halberd resurfaced. With a golden glow shimmering, he jerked his halberd, as a formidable and menacing aura spread out. "Little bastard, prepare to die." Every bit of Yuan power inside the Diteng duo's body has been pushed out. In the next instance, both of their eyes turned cold, as their palm and finger instantly attacked. Swoosh! A fiery red light beam, that seemed just like flames, exploded forth from Diteng's finger. The undulations contained within caused one's heart to chill. In fact, faintly, one could detect a slight bloody scent spreading out. Turning to look at Diteng's palm, they suddenly realized that his palm had actually become somewhat shriveled. It seems like the blood inside his palm had been completely devoured by these flames-like beam. The instant that fiery red beam shot forth, Lu Kuei also chopped down his palm in rage. An illusionary-looking black shadow saber shot out like a ghost. This attack did not seem as formidable as Diteng, however it was just like a serpent hiding in the dark, and caused one to feel highly uneasy. Bang bang bang! Wherever it passed through, this attack that contained the most powerful martial arts from two form creation stage practitioners, directly tore apart the ground below and created a several meters long ditch. Its strength caused several onlookers to stare in awe. One red and one black, one light and one dark beam flashed across in Lin Dong's pupils, as his face turned increasingly solemn. Promptly, waving the ancient heavenly scales halberd in his hand, his great son Thunder Yuan howled forth, as a deep thunder roar slowly echoed out from within his body. Ancient heavenly scales halberd technique, dragon scales halberd. As a golden light danced, a giant dragon shadow then formed on the tip of that ancient halberd. Promptly, it roared at the heavens, just like an enraged dragon that was venting its formidable might after it had been awoken from a long slumber. When that golden dragon shadow emerged, Lin Dong promptly took a step forward. With a formidable glint in his eyes and without a trace of fear, he heavily slammed his ancient halberd down before that golden dragon shadow immediately viciously collided against that fiery red light beam and black shadow saber. Boom! An earth-shattering noise erupted forth in these woodlands, as an exceedingly powerful Yuan power shockwave exploded on this mountaintop. Every giant tree within a several miles radius was directly ruptured into pulp, while the rocks on the ground also turned into dust before they scattered off. As they stared at this formidable clash, all the Di and Lu family's troops involuntarily sucked in a deep breath, as they hastily retreated in order to protect themselves. "Little bastard, you will break." 3 Yuan power light beams were intertwining manically, as they reflected Diteng's maniacal expression. As he stared maliciously at Lin Dong, suddenly he spat out a mouthful of blood filled with rich Yuan power. Instantly, the bloodied smell of that fiery red light beam intensified, while the Yuan power contained within suddenly surged. "Old ghost Lu Kuei, what are you waiting for?" After he spat out that blood filled with Yuan power, Diteng's aura dimmed before he stared at Lu Kuei with blood-red eyes and shouted out. "Spit!" When he heard Diteng's shout, that Lu Kuei's eyes sparkled. Finally, a cringed expression fleeted across his face, before he spat out multiple mouthfuls of blood filled with rich Yuan power. Instantly, the strength of their attacks surged, before that fiery red light beam and black shadow saber actually directly sliced that golden dragon shadow apart. Boom! When that dragon shadow crumbled, instantly, countless golden dots gushed out. It was an exceedingly beautiful sight. "Little bastard, let's see if you still dare to be so arrogant." As he saw that dragon shadow dissipating, Diteng instantly chuckled as an extremely satisfying sensation filled his heart. "Don't count your chickens before they hatch." Just as Diteng's finished laughing, Lin Dong's voice suddenly emerged from within that golden glow. When they heard his voice, Diteng and Lu Kuei's pupils shrunk. Then, at the area where the golden dots were glowing, a powerful energy source that was unlike Yuan power suddenly gushed forth. Mental energy. When they detected this energy source, Diteng and Lu Kuei's facial expression changed. Buzz buzz. A formidable mental energy dashed out from within that golden glow, before it swiftly turned into a peculiar array, manifestation symbol array, manifest, 1,000 flames. As that symbol array swirled, a powerful mental energy gathered at the center. In a short period of time, 2 large flames were formed. This time, the 1,000 flames that formed were totally different compared to before. Not only was it several times larger, even the shape of its body became highly peculiar as traces of lightning sparks were mixed within. In fact, it seemed just like mental energy flames formed from lightning bolts. Attack! Just as these 2 lightning 1,000 flames materialized, they immediately howled forth. Instantly, a sharp breaking wind sound echoed out in the woods, causing one's ears to sting in pain and lose consciousness. Mental energy flames. As they saw that lightning 1,000 flames dashing towards them, a look of awe surfaced on Diteng and Lu Kui's eyes. They had never expected that Lin Dong not only exceeded them in terms of Yuan power cultivation, but also when it came to mental energy, he too possessed such a formidable affinity. Bang bang! As they panicked, the 2 of them hurriedly used all the Yuan power in their bodies to form layers of thick Yuan power shields in front of them. However, when that lightning 1,000 flames dashed forth, these defenses were largely useless, as they were easily blown apart with a pop sound. Boom! Ripping through their defenses, that lightning 1,000 flames finally viciously slammed against their bodies before it exploded. Buzz chhh! The hurricane following the mental energy explosion caused that Diteng and Lu Kui to spit out multiple mouths of fresh blood, as their bodies heavily slammed against the mountain walls. Then, a searing pain emerged inside their minds. Promptly, pain screams echoed out. This time, the 2 of them had finally suffered major injuries. That lightning 1,000 flames not only hurt them physically, but it also corroded their mental states. Nonetheless, Diteng duo were indeed form creation stage practitioners. Even though they were heavily injured, they still managed to endure the pain and climb up. Just as they planned to escape, a formidable wind blew in front of them, before a sharp halberd shadow blocked their paths. Move another step and you die. When they heard that casual voice sounding out in their ears, Diteng duo's faces turned pale. Their bodies instantly became stiff as they did not dare to move at all. After all, both of them knew that this person in front of them was not kidding. Kill that kid! When he saw that the Diteng duo had been thoroughly thrashed by Lin Dong, that young man dressed in black became highly alarmed as he hurriedly shouted out. Yes! Right now, after the Diteng duo had been captured, this young man dressed in black then took over command. Hence, once he shouted out, elite practitioners from both families immediately attacked. Then, like a Yuan power meteor rain in the sky, streams of potent Yuan power were viciously directed towards Lin Dong. When he saw that these fellows still dared to attack him at this juncture, Lin Dong's eyes turned cold. However, just as he was about to teach these guys a lesson, suddenly a familiar beast roar echoed out. Bang! After that beast roar echoed out, promptly, a resplendent lightning glow exploded forth as it directly penetrated through the Yuan power meteor rain in the sky, before the savage energy within directly blew all the Yuan power away. Growl! This sudden attack caused everyone to be stunned. As they hurriedly turned to look, they saw that hovering above that crumbled mountain hole, was a giant beast with a pair of lightning wings. Meanwhile, an aura that did not lose out to Lin Dong or Diteng emerged. When they saw that familiar beast, that young man dressed in black and the rest's faces turned exceedingly pale. Chapter 214, Extortion. Little Flame. As he gazed at the huge beast which arrived from the skies, Lin Dong was stunned, but soon after, delight surfaced in his eyes. In the sky, the huge beast stood in the air while its body was covered in a dark red crystal armor. From time to time, sparks flickered on the crystal armor, making it seem extremely similar to the thunder crystal beast's crystal armor. Furthermore, 2 electrifying wings of lightning grew from Little Flame's back, and as they shook, they emitted the low rumble of thunder. Evidently, after consuming the flesh and blood of the thunder crystal beast, Little Flame had absorbed some of the essence within its blood and thus underwent its current transformation. On Little Flame's back was a huge python which was covered by a layer of scarlet red crystals. Meanwhile, within that python's mouth, lightning seemed to flicker as it hissed, giving it a sinister feeling. The current little flame had completely changed compared to before. No one could predict that Little Flame's transformation would actually be so shocking after absorbing the essence of the Thunder Crystal Beast's blood. Roar! As if it heard Lin Dong's voice, the impressive huge beast in the sky bent down and roared towards Lin Dong. The huge python on its back suddenly shot forward lightning quick, as it charged into the midst of the Di and Lu family troops. Immediately, lightning flashed as a powerful energy gushed forth, bringing miserable cries in its wake. Little Flame's current strength was clearly comparable to the form creation stage. The scarlet-red crystal armor covering its body bestowed upon it a strong defensive shield. Lightning gushed about, causing its attacks to become rather formidable. Although the Di and Lu families still had quite a few perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioners, they were evidently already unable to do any harm to Little Flame. Hence, this intense fight was completely one-sided. However, though Little Flame's attack had caused them to fall into chaos, nonetheless, thanks to their overwhelming numbers, after they finally combined forces, they were barely able to withstand the lightning attacks. Hey, if you keep being so troublesome, you will likely have to collect their dead bodies. As he saw Little Flame toying with the troops from the two families, Lin Dong said with an indifferent tone. At the same time, the halberd in his hand moved closer to the Ditang duo's throats, causing them to freeze in fear. Lin Dong's words instantly caused the Di and Lu family troops to stop struggling. When they saw the sight before them, they already understood that this time, both their families had lost to a youngster who looked extremely youthful. What do you want? Ditang's body trembled slightly. The sharp pain from his mind made him understand that his injuries this time were extremely severe, and if not treated properly, there would be serious repercussions. Of course, there was no point in thinking about these things now, the utmost priority was to first protect his own life. He was an intelligent person, based on the fact that Lin Dong did not immediately kill them, he could tell that Lin Dong currently did not have the intention to kill them. Or else, Lin Dong would not have let him talk so much nonsense. Upon hearing this, a small smile surfaced on Lin Dong's face. In response, a sinking feeling appeared in Ditang's and Lu Kui's hearts. Want your lives? Then use pure Yuan pills to buy them. When they heard the casual chuckle that sounded out in their ears, Ditang and Lu Kui sighed in relief in their hearts. As long as they were able to survive, that would be for the best. 200,000 pure Yuan pills per person. However, before they could completely relax, Lin Dong's following words almost caused them to choke to death. 200,000 pure Yuan pills, even if you sell my entire Di family, we will still be unable to obtain such a sum. Ditang's face was green as he growled. How could they possibly afford such an astronomical figure? Did this guy really think that they were a pill production factory? 200,000, I think it will be better for you to just kill us. After we pay this amount, our families would be rendered useless anyway. Lu Kui gnashed his teeth as he said. After seeing the violent reactions of the duo, Lin Dong rubbed his chin. It seems like the number he had offhandedly said was indeed too tremendous, or else it was unlikely that this duo would rather give up on their lives. How about this, I'll give in. 100,000 pure Yuan pills per person. No more bargaining. Lin Dong muttered to himself for a while before he casually said. When they heard the trace of impatience in Lin Dong's voice, Ditang and Lu Kui, whom were just about to speak again, instantly shut their mouths. Though 100,000 pure Yuan pills was likewise not a small sum, their two families were at least able to afford it. Nearby, the Lu and Di family troops were dumbstruck as they watched the negotiation that was occurring before their eyes. For a moment, their gazes turned somewhat strange as they looked towards Lin Dong. Stop looking and hand over the pure Yuan pills. 100,000 pure Yuan pills per person. Thank you. When he saw their strange gazes, Lin Dong involuntarily chuckled as he said. Upon hearing Lin Dong's calm voice, the place turned quiet while Ditang and Lu Kui could only take out the Qian bags which they stored pure Yuan pills in. Yet, 100,000 was evidently too huge a figure, hence they duo still fell short of about 50,000 pure yuan pills after clearing out all their Qian bags. As he watched the stiff expression on the Diteng duo's faces, Lin Dong could not be bothered with them, and grinned before he said, you still have so many underlings here. Let them top up the rest. Without 200,000 pure yuan pills, I will not let anyone go. Upon hearing these words, not only did the Diteng duo start to tremble involuntarily, but even the sight before the Di and Lu family troops began to turn black. This guy would not even let off small fries like them. You guys go gather 50,000 pure yuan pills. Diteng swallowed a mouthful of saliva, as he stared at the sharp halberd at this throat. He had no choice but to thicken his skin and command the Di and Lu family troops. Upon seeing that even the family head had spoken, the troops from the two families could only force a smile. Then, the 100 or so men huddled together, before they finally gathered 50,000 pure yuan pills and handed it over to Lin Dong. As he held the Qian bag in his hand, Lin Dong's mental energy scanned it. Soon after, he nodded his head in satisfaction and kept all of the pure yuan pills into the high-class Qian bag he had snatched from Wang Yan. Then, he smiled as he stuffed the Qian bag into his clothes. We've already given you the pure yuan pills, you can now release my father and the Lu family head, right? The youth in black's face was green as he said. Lin Dong cast a glance at him. Under Lin Dong's gaze, the youth in black hastily withdrew several steps, and hid in the crowd. Now that practically all their pure yuan pills had been taken away by Lin Dong, if he was caught by Lin Dong to be used as blackmail, there would be no more pure yuan pills to save him. Hikes, my old friend Diteng, originally, you did not have to lose these pure yuan pills. Lin Dong turned his head and smiled at Diteng. Soon after, the halberd in his hand suddenly jerked before he viciously flung the duo towards their men like sandbags. Heh, many thanks to the two of you for your presence this time, I hope that we will meet again someday. Lin Dong kept the ancient halberd in his hand, before clasping his fists towards Diteng and the rest. With a leap, he once again appeared in Little Flame's back, as the latter's lightning wings shook. The sound of thunder rumbled, as they transformed into a flash of lightning and flew away. Bastard! As they watched Lin Dong's fading figure, Diteng and Lu Kui were so angry that they almost vomited a mouthful of blood. Not only were all their efforts this time wasted, they had even lost 100,000 pure yuan pills each. Even to factions like theirs, it was a tremendous blow. However, though they were angry, they could not do anything about it. The power that Lin Dong had displayed caused fear to arise in their hearts, especially since Little Flame had also advanced to the form creation stage and its strength had soared. They did not doubt that if Lin Dong truly wanted to finish them off, rivers of blood would flow and their losses would be horrible. Compared to this kind of outcome, losing 100,000 pure yuan pills was already the best situation. Where did this bastard appear from? Since when was there such a frightening youngster in Dayang province? Reaching the form creation stage at such an age, even in the Great Yan Empire, his potential is extremely outstanding. Why would he appear in such a deserted area? Lu Kui had a belly full of fire as he said. When we first encountered him, he had already extorted 20,000 pure yuan pills from us. Diteng was silent for a while before he said. Upon hearing this, Lu Kui was taken aback, as he looked towards Diteng with a little sympathy. It turns out that it was already the second time that this guy had been enjoyed such treatment. What now? Lu Kui asked. What else can we do? That brat's strength is likely already comparable to an advanced form creation stage practitioner. Can we find such a practitioner for help? Furthermore, don't forget that this guy still has a pet that is not weaker than us. Diteng had a gloomy expression on his face as he replied. Truly such horrible luck. If I knew this would happen, I would not even make a move against the Thunder Crystal Beast. Now, all the benefits has gone to someone else. Lu Kui was indignant as he complained. An underling supported him as he stood up, before he waved his sleeves and left in rage. God damn it, let's go. After seeing this, Diteng resentfully cursed out, as he brought his troops and left. Above the vast forests, lightning streaked across the horizon, bringing with it the low rumble of thunder. "Kid, are you just gonna let them go this way?" Little Martin once again appeared on Lin Dong's shoulder, looking back as it chuckled. "Although the Di and Lu families are not weak, they do not pose any threat towards me. We are only stopping here for a short time, even if they want to, they can do nothing about it. Moreover, I believe that as long as they are not fools, they should not have the courage to anger me again." Lin Dong casually smiled as he said. With his current strength, Little Martin and the symbol puppet, they were basically equivalent to 4 form creation stage practitioners. It would not be too difficult for them to exterminate the Di and Lu families with such a line-up. With power, one naturally had no need to fear. "This time, you've reaped quite a harvest. Not only did you master the Great Sun Thunder Body's Bronze Thunder Body, you've also advanced to the form creation stage and the 4th seal symbol master. In the Great Yan Empire, this kind of power can already be considered strong." Little Martin nodded its head, as it looked at Lin Dong and said. Lin Dong laughed in response. The benefits from refining the thunder source had indeed far surpassed his expectations. "Now, let's head directly to the Great Desolation Province. I am rather curious about this so-called most wonderful and chaotic place in the Great Yan Empire." Lin Dong lifted his head and gazed into distance as he softly mumbled. Chapter 215, Mist Forest. "What kind of god-forsaken place is this?" Lin Dong was in a primitive forest, which was filled with a milky white mist. This kind of mist was extremely weird and it was very difficult even for mental energy to penetrate it. Moreover, the skies above were filled with an icy cold qi, which even someone like Lin Dong's was unable to tolerate. Hence, during the 2 days in which he had been in this forest, he had basically been randomly wandering around. These 2 days of randomly wandering around had evidently caused Lin Dong to become a little twitchy. He seemed to have been trapped in here. "The mist here is very strange, even I will not be of much help." To one side, Little Martin spread out its claws, indicating that it was unable to do much. Lin Dong helplessly sighed, while kneading his forehead. He retrieved a map from his Qian Kun bag and looked at it for a long time, before mumbling, "It has been almost 4 months since we left Yan City. Including Dayang Province and the 4 other provinces along the way, if this map is not wrong, we should already have reached the edge of the Great Desolation Province. Oh, that's right, I remember now. This is the Mist Forest, a strange forest at the edge of the Great Desolation Province. To think that we have actually entered this place, no wonder we cannot find the exit." While he was mumbling, Lin Dong's eyes suddenly lighted up, as if he had recalled something. "How do we get out?" Little Martin lazily asked. After hearing this, Lin Dong was once again stunned. Soon after, he forced a smile and said, "We know nothing about the topography here. I've heard that there is only one correct path and without someone to guide us, it will be very difficult to leave. We need someone to guide us." Little Martin helplessly shook its head and sat on Little Flame's head. "Walk towards the right, there seems to be a little UN power undulation there." Lin Dong was slightly taken aback. Evidently, he had never expected that Little Martin's senses could reach so far even in such a place. "Stop being shocked, this is already my limit. The isolation ability of the mist is too powerful. Any further and I will not be able to do anything." Little Martin rolled its eyes and explained. Lin Dong laughed bitterly. Along this journey, they had experienced all kinds of hardships. A month before, even when they had been chased by 2 Qi creation stage demonic beasts for 2 whole days, they had been as lively as usual. However, never did they imagine that they would be tormented so horribly by this terrible forest. "Let's go." Lin Dong waved at Little Flame, as he widened his steps and swiftly walked towards the right side. In response, Little Flame nimbly followed. Bang! In an empty space and shrouded by a thick mist, about a dozen people were tightly packed together. From time to time, ferocious demonic beasts, which reeked of blood, charged at them from all directions, before they were quickly shredded to pieces by a dozen or so vigorous UN power. "These beasts are truly troublesome. Dojo Master, when will it end?" Among the crowd, a man hacked apart a demonic beast with his sword before he wiped away the blood on his face and cursed. "Pay a little more attention and just wait it out." The one who replied the man, was a middle-aged man with the back of a tiger and the waist of a bear. In his hand, was a black broadsword. As that broadsword danced, it was filled with power, and when any of the charging demonic beasts made contact with it, their flesh was lacerated. This middle-aged man's strength was clearly the highest among this group, and he had already advanced to the initial form creation stage. Even when faced with the attacks from all sides of these numerous demonic beasts, he did not panic even the least bit and instead completely blew all the demonic beasts away. "Keep it up, Dad." At the center of the group was a girl who looked about 12 or 13 years old and was dressed in light red clothes. While this little girl watched the middle-aged man's brave figure, she could no help but clap her tiny hands and cheer with her lovable voice. Her young and innocent voice was just like a little angel's, causing some of the surrounding men to chuckle, as if some of the tiredness in their bodies had been chased away by this doll-like little girl. "Union, be careful." Beside this little girl, a woman who was about 20 years old hastily pulled the former behind her. This woman was tall and her tight clothes revealed her exquisite and fine figure. Her face was also rather pretty and her high nose seemed to give off a trace of arrogance. "Oh!" The little girl, who was called Union, obediently responded and hid behind the pretty woman, while her huge eyes secretly looked towards the situation outside. This battle here lasted for almost half an hour, before the demonic beasts finally retreated, leaving behind a huge amount of corpses. As these demonic beasts withdrew, most of the men here sat down on their butts, and continuously panted for air. Evidently, they were quite exhausted. Upon seeing the exhausted crowd, the middle-aged man could not help but helplessly shake his head. Just as he was about to speak, his expression suddenly changed, and his gaze abruptly turned towards the mist in front of them, as he sternly shouted out, "Who?" After hearing the middle-aged man's sudden shout, the crowd which had just sat down hastily rose once again, as they grabbed the weapons beside them and nervously gazed to their front. Under their nervous gazes, a figure slowly walked out from the mist and gazed at the tensed-up group, before he scratched his head and said, "Don't worry everyone, I do not have any ill will. I only entered this place by accident and cannot find the exit." When they saw the youngster who had appeared before them, everyone let out a sigh of relief. However, the middle-aged man's gaze was still tightly fixed onto Lin Dong, and he did not relax in the slightest because of his seemingly tender age. That was because he had already sensed a trace of danger from Lin Dong's body. This young brother must be from some foreign region, right? The middle-aged man stared at Lin Dong and suddenly asked. "Yes." Lin Dong chuckled, before he clasped his fists together and said, "Old brother, may I follow you, and if we are able to successfully leave this place, I will definitely repay you." "No way, we will not bring along a stranger. It will better for you to go on your own." At this moment, the pretty lady walked over with the little girl, as she examined Lin Dong's body and said, "Sister, he is just someone who got lost," the doll-like little girl secretly said to one side. The beautiful lady rolled her eyes at the little girl, before she said in a low voice towards the middle-aged man, "Father, our current situation is not stellar. Bringing along some unknown person, who may only hinder us, is too risky." After hearing her words, the middle-aged man did not immediately reply. His eyes were tightly fixed onto Lin Dong, and a long while later, he finally spoke in a low voice, "This young brother, our group has attracted some things here. If you follow us, I'm afraid you will get caught up in the danger. Of course, it is not that I am unwilling to help out. If you are not afraid of the dangers, follow us and we will bring you out of the mist forest." "Father!" When she heard the middle-aged man was actually willing to help him, that pretty lady hurriedly exclaimed. However, she was stopped by that middle-aged man with a wave of his hand. "Many thanks to this old brother." Lin Dong chuckled and once again clasped his hands together in thanks towards the middle-aged man. This was the first group that he had encountered in days and he naturally would not give up so easily. After all, he truly did not want to linger for too long in this god-forsaken place. Upon seeing Lin Dong walk over, the pretty woman long and shapely eyebrows involuntarily frowned a little. This young one is Lin Dong, thank your old brother for your kind assistance. Lin Dong walked over to the middle-aged man's side and said. The middle-aged man laughed and spread out his hands, while he took a closer look at Lin Dong, before his eyes paused on the small scarlet-red beast in his arms. The small scarlet-red beast in Lin Dong's arms was naturally Little Flame. After it had advanced in cultivation level, it was now able to control its body size and change it. For the sake of not drawing the attention and wariness of these people, he did not let Little Flame transform into its battle mode. Heh, I am called Zhang Lei, the dojo master of the Eagle Martial Dojo. These are my two daughters, Zhang Shui and Zhang Yunyan, and the rest of them are my brothers from Eagle Martial Dojo. The middle-aged man was evidently rather forthright. As he heartily laughed, Lin Dong started to have some good feelings towards the former. This young one is Lin Dong, I greet Dojo Master Zhang. Lin Dong laughed and clasped his hands together, as he secretly sighed in his heart. As expected of the Great Yan Empire's most powerful area, even a mere martial dojo had a form creation stage practitioner overseeing it. Compared to the Raging Blade Dojo in Qingyang Town, this was practically heaven and earth. Haha, no need to be polite, little brother Lin Dong. Take a rest first, we will reorganize ourselves for a while here before moving off. I believe that we will be able to exit the mist forest tomorrow. Zhang Lei heartily laughed and patted Lin Dong's shoulder, before turning to organize the group. Humph, I'm already used to father's kindness. I hope that you will not do anything funny, or else, I will be the first to kill you. After seeing Zhang Lei turn around, the beautiful woman known as Zhang Shui warned in an icy cold voice. In response to the beautiful woman's hostility, Lin Dong did not reply. When they left this forest, they would naturally part ways and there was no need for him to get close to her. Big brother, it's so pretty. To one side, the doll-like little girl, who looked like she was carved from jade, stared at Little Flame, which was in Lin Dong's arms, with her huge and lively eyes as she delightfully said. Oh, here, you can carry it. As he gazed at the adorable little girl before him, a gentle smile surfaced on Lin Dong's face. She caused him to remember the little lass Kington. Upon hearing this, a look of joy instantly appeared on Zhang Yunyan's tiny face. She carefully reached out her tiny hands and received Little Flame into her bosom. Little Flame struggled for a while, before it stopped helplessly. When Zhang Shui saw the gentleness on Lin Dong's face as he talked to Zhang Yunyan, the coldness in her beautiful eyes melted a little. However, her tone remained unfriendly. During this time, you can follow us. I do not hope for you to contribute much and you only need to hide in the inner circle. Once you are taken by the demonic beasts, no one can save you. After saying this, she pulled Little Yunyan's hand and walked towards the middle of the group. Little Yunyan carried Little Flame in one hand and turned her head to make a cute and funny face at Lin Dong, causing Lin Dong to involuntarily chuckle. This group seems to be marked by something. Lin Dong stretched his back, as he gazed casually behind him. He could faintly sense that there was something following this Eagle Martial Dojo. I hope that we can leave this god-forsaken place smoothly. Chapter 216, Eagle Martial Dojo. Seated on the cart, Lin Dong's eyes turned to observe the crowd around him, as they attentively surveyed their surroundings. From the solemn expressions on their faces, he could deduce that during this period of time, they had been attacked several times by demonic beasts. This fact puzzled him slightly. Usually, even though demonic beasts were savage, they would not pursue their targets incessantly. One wonders what the Eagle Martial Dojo had done in order to draw such hostility. Haha, little brother Lin Dong, drink some water. While Lin Dong was deep in thought, a laugher suddenly sounded out. Promptly, he stretched his arms out and grabbed onto a water bag, before lifting his head to smile at the person who had tossed him the water bag. The latter was a middle-aged man known as Wahen, and his age, he could be considered an old man in the Eagle Martial Dojo. Also, he was a perfect Yuan Dan stage practitioner, and had some prestige in the Eagle Martial Dojo. Lin Dong had a rather favorable impression of this outspoken and straightforward man, who was somewhat similar to Zhang Lei. "Thank you, old brother Wu." Lin Dong smiled, before he drank from the water bag. Instantly, his face flushed as he realized that contained within that bag was not water, but instead strong liquor. "Ha ha!" When they saw Lin Dong's flushed face, the crew from the Eagle Martial Dojo could not help but laugh. "Ha ha, old Wu! Don't bully Lin Dong because he is young." Leading the pack, Zhang Lei was drawn by the laughter. Lin Dong helplessly shook his head, before he threw that liquor bag towards Wu Hen. He knew that they did not mean to insult him, and honestly, he rather enjoyed this feeling. Perhaps they were influenced by Zhang Lei's forthright character, as most of the Eagle Martial Dojo members were rather likable. After he spent nearly half a year in these old woods, Lin Dong was quite glad to be part of these jovial teasing. Of course, there was one exception. Lin Dong lifted his head to look at Zhang Shui, who had unknowingly came by. In his heart, he knew that this woman remained reluctant to accept a foreign person like him. In her eyes, he found caution and suspicion. From time to time, our Eagle Martial Dojo will venture into the mist forest to hunt demonic beasts, gather demonic crystals and search for elixirs. Zhang Shui, who was seated beside Lin Dong, suddenly muttered casually. However, it was different this time. When one of our crew members was gathering elixirs, he attracted a young beast and ended up killing it. Later, when we were being attacked by these demonic beasts, we realized that the young beast was the cub of the Mist Leopard Alligator King. The Mist Leopard Alligator King is a fairly renowned and vicious demonic beast in the Mist Forest. One male and one female, if they were to combine forces, they could match up to an advanced form creation stage practitioner. During this period of time, the reason why we have been continuously attacked was likely due to their orders. Tomorrow, we will leave the Mist Forest. Based on their cunning and vicious characters, they will definitely strike tonight. When he heard her words, Lin Dong finally realized why the atmosphere in this troop was slightly odd. It turned out that they were being hunted. If what Zhang Shui said was true, this so-called male and female leopard alligator king must have teamed up. At that time, if they brought along other demonic beasts to kill them, they people would likely be doomed. I did not approve of you joining us, because I felt that you would drag us down at that time. Zhang Shui's words were extremely direct. Lin Dong was younger than her and he seemed like a youthful brat. It was already a stretch for their current crew to protect Little Union and the rest. With the addition of Lin Dong, they would have to use more manpower. Oh, at that time, don't worry about me. Lin Dong rubbed his face, which was burning red from the alcohol, as he chuckled. Zhang Shui's beautiful eyes stared at Lin Dong, before she suddenly said, "However, father told me that you are not as simple as you look." Lin Dong was slightly taken aback and declined to comment. "Even though I do not fully believe him, however, I hope that you will not plot against our dojo. Furthermore, if the situation worsens tonight, please take care of Little Union." Zhang Shui's voice gradually turned gentle. After she spoke, she floated off along with a whiff of fragrance. This woman, as he stared at Zhang Shui's beautiful departing figure, Lin Dong helplessly shook his head. "Haha, little brother Lin Dong, pay no heed to her. That brat Shui cares deeply for this dojo and she does not want anything to happen to it. Honestly, she has a really good heart. The food that you ate today was specifically delivered to you as per her instructions." Wu Hen walked over and said with a smile. "It's all right." Lin Dong gently smiled. "Be careful tonight. You are a truly unlucky fellow to stumble upon us." Wu Hen patted Lin Dong's shoulder as he sighed. Lin Dong nodded his head. He could see the highly worried look in the middle of Wu Hen's eyebrows. It seems like he was constantly worrying about the potential trouble tonight. After conversing with Lin Dong for a short while, Wu Hen turned and left. Staring at the solemn expressions on their faces, Lin Dong softly sighed. "Big brother, will we be all right?" Little Union jutted out from the cart, carrying Little Flame in her hands, as her large eyes stared at Lin Dong and asked. "Haha, it will be fine. Just some stupid wild beasts, there is nothing to fear." Lin Dong gently smiled as he patted Little Yunyan's head and softly consoled her. As the crew continuously traveled forward, the sky gradually began to darken. Meanwhile, the atmosphere among the crew began to turn increasingly tensed as everyone tightly gripped onto their weapons. After all, they understood that tonight was going to be the most challenging night for them. Set up camp. Standing in front, Zhang Lei suddenly stopped, and took a look at the sky, as he suddenly said in a low voice. When they heard his command, the Eagle Martial Dojo members began to get busy. In a short period of time, a campsite emerged on this empty woodlands. Next, a variety of simple defensive structures were built as well. It seems like this Eagle Martial Dojo was fairly experienced in dealing with these demonic beasts. With regards to these matters, Lin Dong could provide little assistance. Therefore, he could only sit on the cart as he watched them work. "Little brother Lin Dong, be careful tonight. If we can endure through the night, we will be fine." After they finished preparing, Zhang Lei walked over and spoke with a smile. "Yet." Lin Dong gently smiled as he nodded his head. "Also, little brother Lin Dong, if possible, please take care of little Yunyan tonight." Zhang Lei looked at Yunyan, who was standing beside Lin Dong, before he suddenly asked in sincerity. "Old brother Zhang, don't worry. Nothing will happen to her." Lin Dong smiled. "Thank you." Zhang Lei softly heaved a sigh of relief, before he solemnly cupped his fist at Lin Dong. Even though he could sense that Lin Dong was no ordinary individual, he did not ask him to assist them. After all, he was keenly aware that right now, both of them did not have a deep relationship yet. Therefore, since they helped to guide Lin Dong, asking him to protect little Yunyan was already a fair deal. Under the tensed gazes of the crowd, nighttime finally quietly arrived. During the night, the visibility inside the mist forest dropped even further. Even with lit torches, their visibility was restricted to a certain radius. The crowds hurriedly ate some food to fill their bellies, before they went on alert. Sharp wooden spikes were set up along the perimeter of the camp, while dozens of individuals sat in the center as they gripped onto their weapons. Contained within their eyes, were a tensed expression as well as a vicious one. After being attacked by these demonic beasts for so many days, they were evidently outraged as well. The entire campsite turned eerily silent and only the crackling sound from the fire pit could be heard. Lin Dong was seated in the middle of the crowd. Beside him, was little Yunyan and several injured members. He was the only one who remained calm amongst the crowd. After training by himself for half a year in the woods, he had encountered all sorts of dangerous situations. In fact, he nearly lost his life several times. Hence, he did not consider the current situation dangerous at all. A thick mist shrouded the woodlands. Suddenly, a faint bloody smell stealthily emerged. "They've come." Lin Dong's palm gently patted Yunyan's head, as he muttered to himself in a voice that was audible only to him. "Shh." After he spoke, a rumbling sound suddenly echoed out inside the woods. Suddenly, pairs of somewhat bloody red animal eyes appeared within the mist. Clang clang. When they saw that those fellow had indeed arrived, the faces of the Eagle Martial Dojo members turned ice cold, as they slowly stood up. Meanwhile, the grips on their weapons slowly tightened. As time passed by, more and more demonic beasts began to gather around. In approximately 10 minutes, over 100 had already gathered, and from the looks of it, it seems like their numbers were still increasing. As he stared at the numerous demonic beasts, a look of awe flashed across Lin Dong's eyes. It seems like this so-called leopard alligator king had a fairly strong sway inside this mist forest. Beside Lin Dong, when little Yunyan saw such a number of vicious demonic beasts, her tiny face turned slightly pale, as her hand tightly gripped onto Lin Dong's shirt. Bang bang! Not long after these demonic beasts emerged, the ground suddenly shook. Immediately, two extremely vicious aura emerged from the mist. Mist Leopard Alligator King. When they detected these two vicious auras, the faces of the Eagle Martial Dojo members finally turned pale. In fact, even Zhang Lei's eyes began to darken a little. Their giant shadows became increasingly clear amidst the mist, before eventually, two large and hideous demonic beasts emerged under the glow of the torches. As they stared at the bloody and vicious eyes of these two demonic beasts, every Eagle Martial Dojo member's heart began to jump violently. Standing in front, Zhang Xue's beautiful figure also began to tremble a little. The biggest problem had indeed arrived in the end. Is this the Leopard Alligator King? Lin Dong turned to look at that two vicious and hideous-looking demonic beasts, as his fingers gently rubbed his thighs. They did look a little savage. Chapter 217, Mist Leopard Alligator King. Everyone watch out! As he glanced at the campsite, that was being filled with swarms of demonic beasts, and turned to look at the two fearsome giant beasts in the middle, Zhang Lei's face was solemn as he deeply echoed out. Old Wu, lead the men and protect the camp. Yes. Wu Han's face was solemn as he answered. The shiny blade in his hand was now wrapped with a thick yuan power and it was emitting a bright glow. Under the shadow of the night, this glow was even more comforting than that of any flame. Dojo Master, what are about the two Leopard Alligator Kings? A Eagle Martial Dojo member asked. Zhang Lei was silent for a moment, before he deeply echoed, I will halt them. The rest of you quickly handle the other demonic beasts. Dojo Master. When he heard that Zhang Lei was actually planning to stop the two Leopard Alligator Kings on his own, the faces of the Eagle Martial Dojo members instantly changed as they hurriedly shouted out. Quit yapping. If you don't want me to die, quickly take care of the other demonic beasts and then hurry over and help me. Zhang Lei shouted. Yes. When they heard his words, the Eagle Martial Dojo members tightened their fists, before they finally agreed softly. Young brother Lin Dong, please take care of Little Union and the rest. We are a little short-handed. Zhang Lei suddenly turned around, before he shouted loudly towards Lin Dong's direction. When they heard his words, several Eagle Martial Dojo members were taken aback. After today, they were somewhat familiar with Lin Dong. However, the latter did not display any exceptional prowess. Hence, it seems like it was too risky for Zhang Lei to assign this task to him. Old brother Zhang, don't worry. With regards to their suspicious gazes, Lin Dong did not pay any attention to it, as he patted Little Union's head and replied with a smile. Growl. Just as Lin Dong smiled, in the middle of the demonic beasts, the two hideous-looking leopard alligator kings immediately released an earth-shattering roar. This roar was exceptionally deafening and it sounded like a mixture of a leopard growl and an alligator roar. In fact, it caused the listeners' eardrums to bleed while their heads ache. Oh, that beast can actually use mental energy attacks, awe flashed across Lin Dong's eyes. This was the first time he had encountered a demonic beast who could actually use a mental energy attack. However, in front of him, this kind of mental energy attack was evidently worthless. With a flick of his thumb, a formless shockwave stealthily dashed forth and directly neutralized that mental energy growl. Boom! The leopard alligator king's growl was obviously a signal to charge. Hence, after it growled out, the bloodlust contained in the eyes of those over demonic beasts intensified. Promptly, their hooves began to move, causing the ground below them to tremble. Then, like a tidal wave, these beasts swarmed towards the campsite. Their aura was truly astounding. Kill! As they faced this wave of demonic beasts, a killing intent gleamed in the eyes of the Eagle Martial Dojo members. At this juncture, they had nowhere to run. Hence, their only hope for survival was to go all out. Boom! That demonic beast wave heavily slammed against the wooden defense structures erected around the camp, before several of them were directly pierced apart. However, due to their overwhelming numbers, as corpses swiftly piled up, those rudimentary defenses structures were rendered useless. Then, the next wave of demonic beast immediately gushed forth. The real battle has begun. As a bloody smell approached them, every member of the Eagle Martial Dojo knew that the next moment was going to be the most bloody moment of the night. Buzz buzz buzz! Thick yuan power instantly exploded forth. Every member of the Eagle Martial Dojo were evidently well coordinated. With 3 of them in a team, they formed their own formation respectively. Meanwhile, the sharp blades in their hands were wrapped with Yuan power, as they directly sliced apart any demonic beast that charged at them. Several dozen mini-meat grinders were formed. Surrounding them, fresh blood gushed forth, as demonic beast corpses began to pile up. Dark red fresh blood started to dye the ground red, as a bloody smell coupled with horrifying screams started to spread across this woodlands. Growl. When they saw the mini-meat grinders that were formed by the bodies of the Eagle Martial Dojo members, a cruel glint flashed across the pupils of those two vicious leopard alligator kings. Then, those two beasts, with hooves as heavy as a rock boulder, actually lightning quick dashed towards the campsite. Due to their formidable might, any formation that they encountered, regardless of how intricately designed it was, or how well they worked together, the outcome will still be the same: the formation would be destroyed and lives would be lost. Furthermore, once these formations were broken, Little Union and the rest of the injured members, who were hiding behind, would be rendered defenseless. Bang bang! Therefore, when Zhang Lei saw the actions of these two leopard alligator king, his facial expression changed dramatically. Two blade shadows were carved out from the broadsword in his hand, before they directly ripped apart dozens of demonic beasts nearby. Then, taking a step back, his figure dashed forth before he landed right in the middle of the path of those two leopard alligator kings. As all the Yuan power in his body gushed forth, he swung down his blade in rage. Boom! Immediately, a formidable Yuan power shockwave exploded forth. That blade shadow carved out a thick layer of dirt on the ground, before it viciously slammed on the bodies of those two leopard alligator kings. Clang! A clear metallic sound sounded out in the middle of the night, as a powerful Yuan power exploded on the bodies of those two leopard alligator kings. Then, that sudden attack actually managed to halt the momentum of those two leopard alligator kings. Growl! When they got attacked, those two leopard alligator king released a furious growl. A dark red energy source gleamed on their bodies, before they once again stomped their hooves and dashed forth. Just like two tanks, they viciously charged towards Zhang Lei. Behind Zhang Lei was the defense formation, hence he had no room to retreat. As he stabbed the broadsword in his hand into the ground, he began to utilize every last drop of Yuan power in his body. Based on his expression, it seems like he planned to forcefully counter the combined attack of these two beasts. Bang! The collision happened in the flash, as those two tank-like giant beasts viciously slammed against his broadsword. A powerful explosion immediately exploded forth, causing a spider web-like crack to emerge on the surrounding ground. Grr! That formidable clash directly caused a growl to emerge from Zhang Lei's throat, while he was also forced to retreat a dozen steps before he finally stabilized himself. Evidently, it was not a wise decision to directly face off against these beasts. Father! When she saw that Zhang Lei was hurt, standing behind, Zhang Shuet, who was struggling bitterly with the other demonic beast, shouted out immediately. Meanwhile, standing beside Lin Dong, a gas mist began to swirl inside Little Union's big eyes. Maintain the defense formation. Zhang Lei's hand tightly gripped onto his broadsword, as fresh blood began to gush out from his palm. As he exhaled deeply, he shouted out without turning his head back. Come on, you beasts, I want to see what you can do to my Eagle Martial Dojo. Growl! When they heard Zhang Lei's shout, those two leopard alligator king once again released a piercing growl. As their hooves stomped against the ground, a rumbling sound erupted forth. Then, with a series of explosive noises, they once again charged towards Zhang Lei. When he witnessed this sight, Zhang Lei's facial expression turned solemn, as he frantically gathered all his Yuan power on the tip of his broadsword. However, just as those two leopard alligator king were about to once again collide with Zhang Lei, one of them suddenly made a sharp turn as it carefully avoided the latter. Then, maintaining the same destructive momentum, it dashed towards the defense formation located behind. Bang bang! Due to its extreme speed, ahead of that leopard alligator king, the air there was been compressed. Subsequently, a series of air explosions sounded out, causing huge ditches on the ground ahead. This sudden development totally exceeded Zhang Lei's expectations. Instantly, his facial expression turned extremely ugly. Just as he planned to head back to help them, the other leopard alligator king had already dashed forth. If he were to be caught off guard by its attack, he would probably be torn into pieces. Shui, be careful. Quickly retreat. Without any other option at hand, Zhang Lei could only warn them. That was because the first ones in the path of that leopard alligator king was Zhang Lei, Wu Hen, and the rest's formation. After he shouted out, Zhang Shui, Wu Hen and the rest immediately realized that the leopard alligator king was heading towards them. Instantly, their faces turned pale. After all, they were not Zhang Lei and they could not withstand a blow from that leopard alligator king. Bang! An air explosion caused by the compressed air heavily hit against the blade in Wu Hen's hands as it directly blew the latter away, before he landed heavily at the back of the formation. The sudden opening in their defense formation caused every member of Eagle Martial Dojo to exclaim in shock. Especially when they saw that leopard alligator king dashing over, their faces all turned utterly pale. Shui, quickly dodge. When they saw that Zhang Shui was still standing in the path of that leopard alligator king, some of them hurriedly shouted out. However, when she heard their warnings, Zhang Shui gritted his teeth instead. After all, she understood that if she retreated now, their defense formation will be thoroughly broken. At that time, the final outcome will be the same. Huff! Taking in a deep breath, Yuan power then gushed out from Zhang Shui's body. Immediately, an air explosion howled forth. Buzz! Zhang Shui waved the blade in her hands, as she directly sliced apart that air explosion. However, immediately, a dozen other air explosions erupted froth. As they continuously exploded, a powerful air shockwave directly blew off the sword in her hands. Meanwhile, she was also blown back, before she finally slumped on the ground, while her face turned pale as she helplessly looked at that hideous giant beast that was growing rapidly in her eyes. Nu! When several Eagle Martial Dojo members saw this sight, all of them were utterly alarmed. Several of them tried to rush forth to help, however it seems like it was too late already. Sister! Little Yunyan's large eyes were red. If she was not held back by a member of Eagle Martial Dojo, she would have probably dashed towards her sister. Sigh. When he saw this sight, Lin Dong, who was seated down, softly sighed before he stood up. Little brother Lin Dong! Do not go out! When Wu Hen, who was blown away, saw Lin Dong's actions, he hurriedly shouted out. However, just as he shouted out, he immediately saw that with a tap of his toe, Lin Dong had already appeared in front of Zhang Shui. Are you courting death? That is a creation stage demonic beast. When she saw this sudden reinforcement, Zhang Shui was initially shocked. However, when she saw the identity of her helper, her facial expression instantly changed as she hurriedly shouted out. However, Lin Dong did not bother about her. As he gripped his palm, a formidable yet hideous-looking ancient heavenly scales halberd emerged. As his ancient halberd slammed against the ground, everyone could feel an aura that even exceeded that of Zhang Lei spreading out from that feeble-looking body, just like an awoken dragon. Her voice immediately halted, as the actions of everyone in the campsite seemed to have slowed down. Zhang Shui's face was filled with disbelief as she stared at that figure ahead of her. In this instance, that originally frail-looking body now seemed powerful enough to stand up to the heavens. What father said was right. Right now, inside Zhang Shui's mind, only that sentence floated around. It seems like this lazy-looking chap was not so simple after all.